we focus on the mounting concerns over potential legal violations and severe humanitarian crisis of displacements caused by demolition exercise across the Federal Capital Territory. While the FCT administration insists it's a necessary step to restore the city's master plan and remove illegal structures, a growing chorus of voices is raising serious alarm. So joining us in the studio to delve into this critical issue is Ayuba Jacob Ngbako, FCT Commissioner for the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission and former Nigerian Ambassador to the Gambia. Thank you for being here, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having or invited to this session.
All right, thank you very much.
Now,
looking at these demolitions that have been going on in the FCT, a lot have been bringing up a lot of issues about these demolitions when it comes to humanitarian crisis of displacement as well as legal violation. Now, can you give us a little bit of explanation when it comes to specific legal status that the FCT administration based the demolitions conducted in Abuja?
Okay. Thank you very much. The issue of demolition is a challenge both to the government and to the people of FCT. What I mean by the people of FCT does not only means the indigenous people. It also to residents or those who have decided to have land, either for residential or for commercial purpose. What do I mean by this? When you come to FCT indigenes, these were issues that by 1976, the idea and the government pronouncement that Abuja, a place, was declared as the Federal Capital Territory. And it was also named Abuja. Now, according to government, those who were in the FCT, they could show their interest by approaching government of what they have. But unfortunately, the government at that time was still in Lagos. That's one. Two, the people who are seen to be in the FCT were not by any way invited, told that they have stake. And what there was a vacuum of communication. Now, as we move on, the visioneer who was late General Murtala died, and we had another head of state who was then General Obasanjo. Now, in his view, the amount that were started to be paid to indigenes who are there, though the report shows that there were very few people, and some people declare, the report declared that no man's land. He now saw that the amount to be paid was so huge that can be enough to develop Abuja. So there was a kind of setbacks from him, and we had in 1979 or 78, there was 78. There was an election, and by 79 we had a democratic government, who was then later Shagari, His Excellency. Then what we had also, which of course at that time, I think I was just finishing secondary school, we had opinion survey. Those who want to remain in Abuja, they should remain. And if you even want to go, you are going on your own stake. Nothing will be paid.
But Commissioner, at this point, we have heard cries from especially indigenous people of Abuja, and you would say that to some extent it is only right if their lands, they've been here before it was a capital. So it is only right for them to be compensated for the lands that have been taken away from them, from their homes that have been taken away from them. And there are reports, as you made mention, that a lot have not been compensated for that. And even till this day, there are lots of people that have been displaced and still being displaced. So what would you say about that? And how do you think the government is supposed to tackle this particular issue, making sure that people in its country, people in their homes, in their states, are not displaced?
Good. From my experience, when I was a chairman of Abuja Municipal Council, some villages who started integration, like Karo, is a area that was first of all in everywhere in every city that was integrated. The Karo we have. Then also, during my time, I also approached the minister then, General Gardenasko. Gerki was also integrated. So the base of everything is to integrate these people. But the subsequent government felt that the best way of doing it is to displace them, resettle them, and which in every presentation I said to government, it is very difficult to resettle anybody because resettlement is supposed to be voluntary. So in this case, the problem that we are having now is that there is no enough dialogue between the indigenes and the government. And without that, there will always, or there is going to be a continuous challenges. But I want to say, the local government chairmen are in a very good position to advance the desires of the indigenous people. For example, I will hear, because we must look for the way forward, we must feel that we must look at the way, particularly by local government, have a committee which I'm privileged to know that the chairman of Abuja Municipal Council have set up a committee. With this committee, if it works, it means it's going to identify the villages, identify their parameter survey, and so on. They can present this issue to the federal government, and it will arrest the situation of I'll call it uncalled displacement and resettlement.
Commissioner, aside from the indigenous people of, I would say, Abuja, there are other people that have come here or have been here for a long time, have acquired lands, have built on those lands, and they're facing demolition or, I would say their lands are being taken away from them as well. So at this point, did the FCT administration seek any court injunction approvals or gone to do all these things according to the book in making sure that they follow steps that are supposed to be followed?
Well, really, we have to look at the criteria, procedure, and anybody getting land anywhere in the place called Nigeria, every state in Nigeria. You see, the issue is that I have the right to have a land anywhere in Nigeria, but then there should be legal process. I think our problem has been either those who have got land and places are demolition, perhaps they couldn't get the land, or the land was not given to them legally or appropriately. And also, if they have one, perhaps there is no approval because there is a development control where you submit your plant, and they also have to, including all other things that are necessary to be attached. But I want to say this, is that on the part of government, I think I would advise that they should establish what I think the Land Use Act. There should be one land education committee, there should be tribunal, and there should be either 3 or so. So anybody who violated these laws has an opportunity, or the government should be able to take that person to tribunal. And by so doing, anybody who is taken to the tribunal and is convicted, FCT have not, that is what it needs to be done. And 2, the land allocation should not be vested in minister alone. There should be a committee, which I call Land Education Committee, in a way that every state or every person who apply for land, there is a distribution of this land allocation. Not one person as a minister having decide where the land goes, or who have the land or who will not have.
Okay, talking about the land use decree, that is the 1978 constitution.
Yes.
In your opinion, should the government's land use decree be reformed to provide more security for Abuja residents, especially those without formal titles, or it should just be stay as it is right now?
Well, if it is indigenous, by way, every person in Nigeria have inheritance of land. So the Abuja people have inheritance of this land. Therefore, as a matter of making them to be legally acquired, that is why I'm saying that the local government should come in and make sure these people have a legal document. There should be a transformation from inheritance to a legal document owned by the indigenous. And for those who are resident or who is just coming to have land, it should apply. That is the procedure.
So I'm talking, let me give you an example.
Yes.
Like some indigenous people in some parts of Abuja right now,
yes.
Like the Ido community, the Ngbako, we have the Barua villages are crying right now because of land grabbing. Some military have told them, like the Ido community right now are battling this issue right now. The military told them to pack. There's even a signboard. And most of them have these papers. They have the papers already. And can you just expatiate on that? You mentioned them having papers, and now you said they are supposed to have an inheritance. So can you just throw a light on that issue?
I want to say, I'm not for FCT government to defend it, but no,
just your opinion.
Yes, there wouldn't be 2 papers given to say military have papers and indigenous of the government and indigenous have some paper, which means a double allocation. And if there's a double allocation, it is the responsibility of whosoever have should see the government, should go to government and approach the government. I have allocation and somebody is developing it. You complain. But what is happening in Ngbako and Ido Sarki, there is a different issue.
All of them.
No, it's a different issue. These are indigenous people.
Before
they are indigenous people. And I would say government, FCT government have responsibility to resolve this conflict. If I know that military will not just go and acquire land without the FCTA. So if for any reason a military establishment or army have got papers, I think it is a duty, a responsibility, not indigent to beg. It's a responsibility for FCT government to resettle them. And if they cannot be resettled, they should be integrated. To me, there is no issue of begging. It is the responsibility of the government to make sure the right thing is done, because they have their own fundamental right. So, the number one right for responsibility of government is to protect life and property.
Absolutely.
So now, Go ahead,
Yes.
Hawa.
All right. Looking at economic and revenue considerations at this point, we would know that there's definitely economic implications when it comes to getting those lands, when it comes to demolition. How have demolitions affected revenue streams from property taxes, or from your own expert view? How do you think these demolitions have affected revenue streams from property taxes, rates, and land use in affected communities especially?
In fact, in terms of revenue increase or growth, what is happening is affecting all the sectors, including the people who own the property, including the FCT, because there should be business activities, and these business activities drive economy, drive increase in revenue. So there's no doubt about it. We are losing.
Now,
The federal government is losing, the individual is losing, and everybody is losing.
Now, aside from that, you would definitely look at fiscal responsibility, and you would come to ask what would be the estimated cost to the FCT when it comes to demolition operations, including planning, execution, security, and administrative costs, because not only the people or the indigenous people of Abuja would be at a receiving end, there are fiscal implications when it comes to these activities.
You see, it's huge. The cost, the fiscal cost, financial cost, call it anything, is huge. Because for you to take a tractor or bulldozer a day, it's a cost implication and huge. It could lead to the displacement. The cost of it is huge. In terms of mental effect, it's huge. Everything is huge. I think the best thing that can be done is FCT to set up a tribunal. And I think in the tribunal, I can't say exactly, anybody found, if it's taken to tribunal, anybody found guilty is also charged for the cost of demolition. So I don't know why FCT cannot set up a tribunal, land tribunal, so that anybody who is found wanting is taken to that tribunal.
But can there be sustainable alternatives to demolition, such as planned resettlements or upgrading informal settlements that the FCT could adopt to at least curtail this displacement issue?
There's no challenge without solution. I remember in 1993, when Major General Nasco was the chairman, and I was then we were called deputy mayor. I went to him. I said, in time to come, there's going to be land challenges. Why can't we create parameter in every village? Maybe if you like, we say 50 by 50 square meter. And we try to create a kind of cluster place, or you can call it estate. And I say beside that, it becomes tourist attraction areas. But unfortunately, November, precisely 17 November 1993, Abacha took over. And that idea, I've been selling the idea to development control, that there is need, we have this, so that the encroachment, land grabbing will be curtailed. That is one. Two, the FCT should be able to have development control in every district. And if it is done, there is no way the development control or sub-development control stations that they will not know that somebody is having illegal development. I wonder why after somebody has completed building, sometimes people are parking, and the development control will tell me that they were not aware when somebody was developing this, doing development. So I think there is also lapses from the government, and the government should sit up so that there should be a renewed hope for people in FCT in terms of fiscal development of FCT.
Now, Commissioner, this brings me to this. You made mention of the Land Development Agency not having the information of a land being developed and people moving in. So what happens to the people that experience discrepancies when it comes to documentation? You would see someone would have authentic documentation or along the line some discrepancy, but they are the owners of those lands, and at the end of the day, there have been sanctions or told to relinquish that land because in one way or the other doesn't seem like it's there. So how do you think they should work around that? Tell the people of Abuja how they can be able to make sure that everything is in order so they don't fall victim of these kind of things.
I just have said there are procedures. Having acquired this land, take your plan to development control. And the development control, we need to have integrity in their doings. So in this case, anybody who wants to develop, you should please go to development control, first of all. And with so doing, I don't think there will be this problem of somebody having developed his land and he has a problem. And if it happens, the development control should be wholly responsible.
All right, Commissioner, quickly before we go in a few seconds, as someone or as a Commissioner for the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, would like to hear for your take, a little deviation from the topic. What is your reaction to the new tax laws, the discrepancy that has been found, and what do you think the future of it will be? Is it going to continue to be implemented, or is it going to be implemented when 2026 comes, or is there going to be a setback and a review of that tax law, and how you think it's going to affect Nigerians and businesses as well? Quickly before we go, if you can put it in a couple of seconds.
I think the tax reform is good for Nigeria. And we are undergoing workshops, sensitization, and so on. And I want to say quickly, in Edo State, I've seen the Edo State Revenue Services, or revenue services. They are also all things that will make citizens of Edo State having problem. They are educating and they are putting all the machinery in order. And I want to, in fact, when I saw it, I quickly forwarded to my FCT Revenue Services. I said, look, this things should be done in FCT. To me, there is no problem. It's a matter, anything new, we need to, we need to be calm, to be willing to get what it entails.
Right.
I think that is the problem.
Right.
And you see, if we understand what reform is about, we'll be laughing. Because there are people who not. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commissioner Ayuba Jacob Ngbako, for being here and contributing so much.
Thank you very
much,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Yes.